Well, certainly we're fortunate to get a win out of that. It was a close game. It was a well-fought game. Very well coached. Arlington's a very well-coached football team. It shocks me, but I guess, the fact that they are 0-6, I believe now, but they, like I said, that's a good football team. And we were fortunate to win the game. But, outside of that, we had some big plays. Jake obviously did a great job for us today. The offense did a good job of getting the field position to get those field goals. So I was really pleased with that. We had a couple scores on offense. Defensively, it was really just a matter of we just had to just keep making them earn everything they could get because we were having a hard time making any big plays and getting off the field. And they were taking it down the field, and doing a great job with it. They had a really good plan. I was saying how that football team that we just played, but obviously you all know it as well as I do, but there's been 4 games, I think, this year that have come down to the last play, I believe, and that was just one more of them. I look for that football team to win some games, which I'm sure they will, but credit to Bob and his staff. So, anyway, we got.
Open up the question. Please raise your hand with Pastor Mike and state your name and affiliation.
Woody Woodger, Fox 2. How you doing, Coach?
Good, thank you. I love the way it sounds like Ted Lasso. It's always kind of nice. I wish I could be Ted.
Everybody looks at Jake and all that, but talk about Danny's performance, especially in the fourth quarter, getting the run down there to get you guys in the scoring position.
I used the word yesterday. I said Danny has managed the game well, and I think I need to be corrected in saying Danny manages himself really well. I mean, he stays. He does a great job. He really does. He doesn't hog the ball. He doesn't, at the end there he ran with it. But there were several times as the game wore on, he could have kept the ball and run with it, but he decided to give it to Wes and, letting those guys do the work and things like that, which is smart because we don't need our quarterback taking a lot of hits. But I thought that Danny, this is 2 weeks in a row, I think Danny's done an outstanding job and has had everything to do with our victories. So I'm proud of the guy. He's done a great job.
Josh Elijah, down by 2. Just talking about Jake Bates, obviously. What are some of the intangibles that he really brings on and off the field as well?
Jake off field's a great kid. I mean, I say kid, I mean, he's a young man, but he's very innocent, acting, things like that, but he's takes his job seriously. He's really in a good groove right now. He really is. And I believe he's in a very good place. He kicked 5 field goals, I think, today that counted. Yeah. And I think 2 more that didn't, and another that missed that one. But again, that was at the end. Anyhow, Jake is, he's a special player. I think I'm really hopeful it continues for him. And to be honest with you, with every opportunity we have to kick a field goal, I keep looking out there thinking, boy, I hope this, just gives him one more on his resume, so to speak. In the positive area, I think as long as today, did he kick a 60? He did kick a 60? Yeah. Yeah. And believe me, when you look at when you're a coach and you can look at the 50-yard line and say, if we just get the ball to that right there, he can actually make it. I mean, you're in the middle of the field. I was telling somebody the other day that the thing that's unique about the situation when you have a kicker like him is, he's not going to be perfect if he kept doing a bunch of 60-plus field goals. So you really got to, early in a game, you kind of have to say, as we do a lot of times, we just say, look, at the 40 and in, I tell him, I say, 40 and in, we're going to kick it. But we're not going to kick it outside of that because if you do and you miss it, now your opponent's in your plus territory already, and they're just a first down away from getting 3 themselves. So that's really the unique thing when you have somebody that can kick so well. It's great on one hand, but on the other hand, if you miss it, you did just give up 3 points potentially to the other team. So I'd rather have the situation we have, believe me. But anyway, yeah.
Kyle Elliott, down by 2, media. Danny, I think played, heck of a game, like we've discussed. Perry, we're just looking for the status of Perry. We're getting close to playoff times. There's only 4 weeks left in the season. Just looking for a status in him and what your QB plans are going forward.
Well, he's on IR right now. EJ is. And, we'll reevaluate when we get to that time. And hopefully it's a meaningful time for us. Hopefully it's a tough decision, but I think if Danny continues to do what he is, certainly I don't believe – I guess the safe thing to say is we'll cross that bridge when we get there because a lot of things could happen between now and then. Heck, we could be down to another quarterback if somebody gets nicked. So it's a long way off to make that decision. But I'm hopeful that EJ does get well before the season's up, and that's been kind of what the the doctors have said that he, like that last week possibly, or if we get to play some more.
Yeah, thank you. Another, quarterback question. Etling really shows the ability to throw the ball downfield. He just missed on one connection today. That would have been sweet.
That would have been, yeah. Going down the middle to Glenn.
He had a couple other ones, plus that big run at the end. And Etling, are you running just a few different plays with him in there, knowing that he has the arm strength to throw it on a dime downfield?
First off, I'm not running any of his plays. Marcel, our offensive coordinator, is doing those, but I know you know that.
Excuse me.
I don't want to take credit for something Marcel's done because he's done a tremendous job with him. But he, Danny's got the ability to, he's got great legs as well, so he can extend plays, and that's a huge plus for any quarterback. You look at Martinez even at the Stallions. I mean, he extends things all the time and just gives you fits because if he can't get it out of the pocket, he can move it. And Danny kind of gives that as well for us. But he does have a strong arm. He has delivered the ball down the field. Early in the game, he had one that was underthrown, actually, to Sims, if you recall. But Sims made a great catch. But anyhow, he can do that. And we look for that to happen because we get some, I don't want to say free, but there's some guys open down the field, and we need to take advantage of that. And we have. So that's been pleasing.
Time for a couple more.
Cameron Gill with Detroit News. So obviously that Bates kick wouldn't be possible without Marcus Sims having that big return.
How about that? I meant to say that when I was talking, saying that I didn't know how to bring it up, so I let it kind of be. But Marcus did that was key. And I tell you, and Jerron, we've talked about Jerron's our special team. Jerron Fairman's our special teams coach, who's actually done an amazing job this year. As a matter of fact, a couple fake punts. But at that time in the game today, I remember walking down there and I was just kind of thinking about the return and all, and thinking that McCrary would be out there again. And then as soon as I saw him, I thought, because we talked about that before, Jerron and I, about, if we get in a critical situation, that's how Sims got hurt, was on a kickoff return. But if you get in a critical situation like that in the game, obviously, Sims wants to be in too, so you put him out there. But what a return. I mean, my goodness. And it looked like it was a parting Red Sea all of a sudden. It was closed, and all of a sudden just opened up. It was like, oh my goodness. He almost took it to the house. But that was a great play.
Also, this season, first time you guys have been able to get back-to-back wins. Obviously, you've been trading wins and losses throughout the season. So just tell me how you kind of deal with that as a team. Is that momentum? Are you finally getting to a rhythm this season? How do you take this win, obviously?
Well, we talked today, as a matter of fact, as a football team a little bit. We did have a brief meeting a lot of times, right before pregame meal and stuff. And the topic was exactly that. It was, guys, we win, we lose. We win, we lose. We win. What are we going to do today? And we talked, a lot of the guys it's kind of an open forum, and the guys kind of speak up. Usually half a dozen or more will speak and kind of say something. It was interesting, what they said about, it was really more to them. It was more about just consistency and not letting the alternating thing be anything more than just what it was. It was more us just playing well and getting the victory. What I'm very pleased about is our team, though, right now, from an identity standpoint, that I think that I'm pleased with. Maybe identity is the wrong word, but what we've done so far is we haven't been out of any games. We're always in the game. Even the couple that we lost, we could have won those games. Even the Stallions, we lost by 7 on the last drive with 4 downs and cross the 50, and we don't convert, so we lose the game by a touchdown. And then against San Antonio, we didn't play very well all that game, but even then we lost by 10 was it, or 9 or 10. But anyhow, we felt like we had a chance at the end of the game with a drive or two, and we're still in it. Now, I say that, but as you all well know, in our league, one of the beauties in our league, and one of the things that's great about the way we do scoring and everything, and the way we do an onside scrimmage play, I mean, you're never out of a game, and you never have it won. And I think that's one of the most, that's, to me, from a spectator standpoint, I love that about our league. I really do. It's, your team's always in. You can't count them out. You're in, and it's a lot of fun.
It's time for 2 more.
Coach, are you going to have to mix and match a little bit on defense because of Frank's injury now?
Yeah, I'll wait to see exactly what it is, but it doesn't look particularly good. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do. But the guys that play behind Frank right now, it was Jalen and Jalen White or Jamin White. Get his name right. Anyway, we're confident in those guys. I will say that we really are. We're confident in them. But that's unfortunate because Frank's a very good player.
Last question right here.
Hey, Coach. Mike Mueller, BCP Plus.
Yeah, Mike.
Before those last few drives, the running game really seemed to have a hard time getting going through most of the first half, especially with that quarterback running option play that you tried to do. Do you attribute that more to Arlington's run defense just being really good, or did it just take you guys a little bit longer to figure out how to get some plays going on the ground?
Well, I think, to be perfectly honest, the initial credit has to go to the fact that Arlington defense did a great job. I mean, we have a good running game, and we stick with it. And that's really the key to having a good running game, is not be talked out of it. And thus far this season, and Marcel, who, has done a great job of not being talked out of it. He's stuck with it. And today that's what we did. But Arlington did a really good job, though. They really did. They did a great job. And as I've already said, I mean, they're from a coaching standpoint, a game plan standpoint, on both sides of the ball, I thought they had a great plan. Quarterback executed it for them extremely well. And he has all season long. And they got some real weapons on offense. I mean, all their skill guys are very capable and good players. But I would credit Arlington for the reason more than anything else.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Hey, Danny, Woody Woodruff, Fox 2. How easy is it to have a never say die attitude when you have a kicker like Jake that can pull you out of really anything?
No, it's pretty great. I mean, all you got to do is get to the 50, and you're already in field goal range. I mean, heck, after some of those returns, you're like, all right, well, we got 3 on the board. So, no, he's been amazing, and it's amazing to have him, and all the team rallies around him because, he's such an incredible player. So, yeah, pretty lucky to have him on our team.
Hey, Danny. Josh Elijah down by 2. Obviously, a big turnaround in the second half. But what was the message to the team in the locker room to really turn things around?
Down by 2 is the name of your podcast, or just
the name
down by 2.
Yeah, down by 2.
Okay, repeat the question. Sorry, I was so focused on that. I was trying to figure that out.
Down by 2. Media.
Gotcha.
What was the message to your team in the locker room and just turning things around in the second half there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we had to turn anything around. We just had to keep executing and keep making the plays that were there. We knew it was going to be kind of a dogfight. This is a really good team, and they were winless going into this, so obviously they were going to be desperate. So, we just wanted to keep staying on our rhythm, keep finding plays down the field, and there wasn't a really message of changing anything. We just went out and continued to try to execute and make more plays than they did.
Yeah, Danny, and I'd like to ask a quick one for Jake. Danny, in the fourth quarter, it just seemed like the big plays were just rolling after they were kind of stymied for most of the game. You had the big run, you had the big kickoff return by Sims, and of course the big kicks. I think you guys feel like you're really coming into your own, in this midway point of the season where playoffs are something that you can kind of pin on the board?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you just take it one game at a time. We were lucky to obviously have a lot of big plays. Lucky is probably the wrong word. We worked hard for them, but we just had guys that stayed in it. The second half was always weird. It takes so long. I mean, we had one drive in the third quarter, and suddenly you're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tight game. So it's just a testament to our defense staying in it, not getting flustered, and the offense going out and executing when we got our opportunities to go out there and respond and make plays. And then obviously our special teams, they just handled it for us in the last 55 seconds there. So special teams gets a huge shout out for when we really needed them.
Thank you. Very quickly, Jake, we're hearing stories that the NFL teams are calling. Are you allowed to talk at all about that, or is that something you'd like to keep on the QT?
That's not true. I can't talk to them. I don't know where that comes from, but no, I can't. I guess we're under contract. We can't talk. We can't talk to anybody. So that'll come, in the future, hopefully, but that's not happening right now.
All right, thank you. Shame on those Detroit media's outlets. Thank you.
Trying to get him in trouble.
Hey guys, Mike Mueller, BCP Plus. Jake, they say so much of kicking is really between the ears, and I was just wondering, for you as a kicker, what is a more pressure type situation for you? Trying to hit a 60-yarder or trying to hit a game winner at the end?
I think you have to approach every kick as the same kick, and if you put more emphasis on one kick than the other, that's gonna hinder how you kick each kick. And so, I think I want to make every kick I go out there for. It doesn't change whether the scenario is whatever it is. I want to make every time I'm on the field. And so pressure is kind of what you make it to be, I think. And it's just that's my job to do, is go out there and make kicks, and I'm trying to do that at the best of my ability.
Thanks. And Danny, real quick, if you had one word to describe this game, what would it be?
win. Just win, baby. That's it.
James Larson, Pro Football Newsroom. Jake, obviously a big game for you, 5 for 5, the walk-off winner. Can you speak a little bit on the importance of having quality special teams guys around you, like Jordan Ober, the long snapper, Brock Miller? You guys obviously have so much chemistry this year. You've been spot on throughout the entire season. Can you just speak a little bit on that and what they bring?
Yeah, no, I mean they make my job as easy as any kicker has it, and probably the world, including any league you want to put it in. Jordan is, I mean, he's absolute nails, and Brock is just as good as Jordan. And I mean, when you have so much faith that the ball's always going to get to Brock and Brock's always going to put it down right where I want it, I don't have to worry about that. That doesn't even go into my head where, some people have to worry about, is the holder going to get it down? Is the snap going to get there? I don't have to worry about that, which is such a luxury.
Any other questions?
So to open this question up, Jonathan Klink, UFL News Hub. So I told Arlington's coach that after I've watched all the games so far, that to me there are at least 3 teams that they're better than. And I was wondering what your perspective on was how they played today.
Yeah, I mean, Arlington played great. I think they have a lot of talented players on their roster. I thought that watching film, going into this game, I knew it was going to be a high-scoring affair or a dogfight. I mean, those guys are really talented over there, and they've got, just a lot of heart and a lot of fight in them. So, I'm interested to see how they continue to progress throughout the season and what happens. But, yeah, I mean, even their losses are there's 4 games in there where it's how did they lose that game? So they're a really talented group, and they're well coached. And, we had to go out and earn that win. They definitely were making it hard on us.
What did you think of the Panthers fans today when they got loud?
I loved it. Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely gave you a lot of momentum and energy, and you could actually hear it in the stands. So, even when stuff was kind of flowing away where we didn't want it to, it seemed like they were really supportive. So it kind of gave you a little bit of, a little bit of momentum and energy before you take the field.
Your next game, you're heading into Audi Field, which has been one of the hardest fields for road teams to win. How do you flip gears now and be the road team, go in there and get another W?
I mean, it's just going to be executing our game plan, doing what we do. The traveling shouldn't be too hard for us since we do it every weekend. So there actually might be a shorter flight. Yeah, and then I think obviously they play on grass too, and we'll just, make sure we're aware of that and go out and execute and, put together a really good game plan. I have a lot of faith in our coaches and my teammates.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
See ya. Oh, you guys get these things started up pretty quick.
Yeah.